Thank you for tuning in for Battle of the Brains, a high school academic quiz bowl here on CBS 6, featuring some of Virginia's brightest minds. If you think your kids are growing fast, wait until you see the price of college tuition. Learn how you can save on your taxes and plan for your child's future education at invest529.com. Open an account in just 10 minutes while watching Battle of the Brains.
Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529, Central Virginia's high school academic quiz show. Today's match features Oscar Smith High School versus Collegiate School. Let's play.
Hello and welcome to Battle of the Brains, Central Virginia's longest-running high school academic quiz show. I'm Cheryl Miller. We're now in round 3 of this season's competition as our teams vie for a share of $20,000 in scholarship money provided courtesy of Invest 529 and the E.W. Scripps Foundation. Our competition welcomes teams from schools all across the Commonwealth of Virginia. The academic athletes joining us today are the Tigers of Oscar Smith High School, coached by Andrea Weich. Oscar Smith High School is a public school in Chesapeake with a student enrollment of about 2,300. It's an international baccalaureate program, World School. Also with us today, the Cougars of Collegiate School, coached by Will Dunlap and Tyler Boyd. Collegiate School is a private co-educational preparatory school located in Richmond. It serves approximately 1,600 students from junior kindergarten through 12th grade, focused on responsible citizenship and global education. It's great to have all of these students back with us today, and our match will consist of 3 toss-up rounds and a category round. Players will buzz in and wait for me to call on them before giving their answer. Any interruption of questions with an incorrect answer will result in a point deduction. There is no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. All right, students, good luck. Let's go with the first toss-up round. Name the famous 13th century theologian and priest, author of Summa Theologica. Riley.
Thomas Aquinas?
That is correct, Thomas Aquinas. The most powerful type of dipole force, its namesake element, is attached to an electronegative atom. Eustace.
Hydrogen bond.
That is correct. This theorem was first proved using 3 squares that touched at their corners. Hannah.
Pythagorean theorem.
That is correct. What scale is used to measure the number of hydrogen ions in a solution? Vendant.
pH scale.
That is correct. Who is the only U.S. Senator from Virginia to hike the length of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia, bicycle Virginia's portion of the Blue Ridge Parkway and Skyline Drive, and traverse the length of the James River in a canoe to commemorate his 60th birthday?
Tim Kaine.
That is correct. It was told in his book Walk, Ride, Paddle, A Life Outside. The word utopia comes from a 16th century word by Eustace.
Utopia, utopia.
That is incorrect. I'll finish for Oscar Smith. The word utopia comes from a 16th century work by what author? Riley.
Thomas More?
That is correct. The founder of the Yuan dynasty twice failed to conquer Japan. Name this Mongol emperor, host of... Riley.
Kublai?
I need you to be more specific.
Kublai Khan?
That is correct. Host of Marco Polo and grandson of Genghis Khan. This general and president of Mexico fought to keep Texas as part of his country and laid siege. Riley.
Santa Anna?
That is correct, leading to the deaths of Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie. What was the first American fast food chain to open in China in 1987? Riley.
KFC?
Correct. What name is given to the type of triangle that, for example, has one side 3 inches, the second side 7 inches, and the third side of 9 inches? James.
Scalene.
Correct. They have 3 sides of different measures. Generally speaking, what is often referred to as a woman's 6th sense? That would be intuition. For the 2025 season, 6-time Super Bowl winning coach Bill Belichick will be the head coach. Will.
University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
That is correct, in Chapel Hill. Pope Francis gave an exhortation in 2013 against what type of economic policy championed by Ronald Reagan and his followers? Eustace.
Austerity?
That is incorrect. Oscar Smith. Riley.
Trickle-down economics?
That is correct. Mephistopheles is a demon featured in German folklore. Spell Mephistopheles. Riley.
Mephistopheles.
That is correct. All right, teams, turn your attention to the monitors for a video question from the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch. You must wait until the question is asked completely before buzzing in.
Actor Donald Glover was a cast member on the television show Community and portrayed Lando Calrissian in Solo, a Star Wars story. What stage name was he using when he won a Grammy for his album This Is America?
Will.
Childish Gambino.
That is correct. You may need your pencil and paper for this one. If the volume of a cube is 125, what is the surface area of the cube? We're going to throw that question out. We had a technical difficulty there. It would be 150. After graduating from Princeton, Oxford, and Harvard, she clerked for Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, appointed by Barack Obama, who... Will.
Sonia Sotomayor.
That is incorrect. I'll finish for Oscar Smith. Appointed by Barack Obama, who in 2010 became the 4th female ever Supreme Court Justice. Riley.
Elena Kagan.
That is correct, Elena Kagan. In 1905, it was played at Yale when its composer received an honorary degree. Name this Edward Elgar march associated with graduations. Eustis.
Pomp and Circumstance.
That is correct. And that buzzer is the end of our first toss-up round. A good job by our team so far, but a lot more questions yet to come. Up next, we'll introduce you to today's players, and then they'll take on the category round when Battle of the Brains continues.
Miss a week of Battle of the Brains? Want to catch up on the full season of play? Watch full episodes on our YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the first toss-up round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Oscar Smith High School with 100 points and our team from Collegiate School with 40 points. And we'll get back to our match and many more questions just ahead. But first, let's find out a little bit about today's players. First, let's meet our team from Oscar Smith High School. The Tigers are coached by Andrea White. First up is Kyle Van Slyke, who is a junior. Kyle likes animals, enjoys reading, and likes art, and would like to study physics in college. Next up is Vedant Dixit, who is a senior who enjoys studying science and running, likes to play soccer, tennis, and table tennis. Our team captain is Riley Cornelise, who is a senior, enjoys volleyball, debating, and oil painting, plans to major in either political science or international relations. And wrapping up our team from Oscar Smith High School is Hannah Sprague, who is a senior, who says she's passionate about artificial intelligence and mathematics, enjoys cross-country, listening to Soviet classical music, and processing large data sets. Good luck with that. Now let's meet our team from Collegiate School. They are the Cougars, coached by Will Dunlap and Tyler Boyd. First up is James Galgano, who is a senior, who will be attending UVA in the fall. Congratulations on your acceptance there. Enjoys track, tutoring, and trivia, and plans to pursue a major in mathematics. Our team captain is Justinas Petkauskas, who is a junior, and he's a member of the debate and robotics teams, plays the piano, and enjoys all kinds of music, and hopes to study either urban planning or engineering. Leah Johnston is a junior and who enjoys rock climbing, acting, technical theater, and speech, is a member of the International Thespian Society, and plans to either pursue journalism or communications in college. And wrapping up our team from Collegiate School is Will Clifford. Will is a senior who will be attending Syracuse, go Orangemen, and plays offensive line on the football team, is an Eagle Scout from Troop 444 and a leader of Collegiate's all-male choral group. And that is our team from Collegiate School. Great to have all of our students here with us today playing. Now they're going to tackle the category round, where each team will select one 10-question category from today's choices. If a team gets all of its questions correct in the allotted time, they'll receive a 20-point bonus. And teams, here are today's categories from which you may choose. They are famous dates, the letter X, and name the element in 3 letters. And we do note that in this round, only the captains can officially answer for the team, though they may confer with their teammates to try to come up with the correct answer. By our rules, the high score team gets first choice of category. That is our team from Oscar Smith High School. Riley, quickly talk it over with your teammates. Let me know what category you all would like to play.
Okay. Name the element in 3 letters, please.
All right, given 3 letters, name any chemical element in which those letters appear consecutively in that order. The first is BER.
Beryllium.
Beryllium.
That is correct, or berkelium, either one. TUN.
Tungsten.
Correct, or neptunium. PHU.
Phosphorus.
Yeah.
That would be sulfur. MAN.
Manganese.
Manganese.
Manganese is correct. RAN.
Uranium.
Germanium.
Uranium. Yeah.
Uranium.
It would be uranium or francium. NUM.
Plutonium?
No, either aluminum, lanthanum, or platinum, or molybdenum. TAN.
No answer.
That would be tantalum or titanium. ELI.
No answer.
Berkelium, helium, or nobelium. OGE. And that was a tough category. That would be either hydrogen or nitrogen. All right, Collegiate School. Famous dates or the letter X?
Letter X. All right. We choose letter X.
All right, identify each of the following, all of which begin with the letter X. The first is the element represented by the symbol XE.
Xenon.
Correct. Fear of strangers.
Xenophobia.
Correct. Photocopy machine company.
Xerox.
Correct. Photons used for radiography.
X-ray.
X-ray is correct.
Okay.
A percussion instrument played with two small mouths.
Xylophone.
Correct. Three letters describing a scandal during the James Adams administration.
XYZ affair.
Correct. King of Persia and son of Darius I.
Xavier? Maybe, yeah.
Xavier.
That would be Xerxes. The Chinese president currently.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Correct. Woody vascular tissue of a plant.
Xylem.
Xylem.
Correct. And finally, like a number line, the horizontal component of the Cartesian coordinate system.
X-plane.
X-plane. X.
We will accept that. X-axis was what we were looking for. All right, good job on that category by our team from Collegiate School. Good job by both of our teams. Up next, we'll have another toss-up round when Battle of the Brains returns.
Battle of the Brains is always available. Find full episodes on YouTube and follow Battle of the Brains on social media.
Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the category round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Oscar Smith High School with 120 points. Our team from Collegiate School with 85 points. And now it's back to Battle of the Brains with another toss-up round. And a reminder to our teams, you do lose points if you interrupt a question with an incorrect answer. The other team then gets the chance to answer the question. And there is no conferring in the toss-up rounds. All right, teams, here we go. It flows just east of Helena before passing through three state capitals, Bismarck, Pierre, and Jefferson City. Lie on what tributary of the Mississippi River? Will?
The Snake River.
That is incorrect. Oscar Smith? Riley?
Missouri?
That is correct. The atomic number of an element is the number of what positively charged particle? Hannah?
Protons.
That is correct, found in the nucleus of the atom. In a typical bag of potato chips, the total fat content is made up from saturated, unsaturated. Eustonus.
Trans fat.
That is correct, and polyunsaturated would be the other. Annette Gordon Reed won the Pulitzer Prize in History for her book about a famous slave family in Virginia. What is the name of that family associated with Monticello and Thomas Jefferson? Riley?
Hemmings?
That is correct. Sally Hemings was a slave and half-sister to Jefferson's wife. In the movie Gremlins, what type of creature requires no sunlight, no water? Will?
Mogwai.
That is correct, and no feeding after midnight. There are how many United States Great Lakes? Eustonus.
4.
That is incorrect. Oscar Smith? Riley? Vendant.
5.
5 is correct. Michigan, Erie, Superior, Ontario, and Huron. Name the composer known for the 1890 opera The Queen of Spades and the ballets Swan Lake and Nutcracker. Eustonus.
Tchaikovsky.
Correct. Name the Archduke whose assassination is Vedant.
Franz Ferdinand.
Correct. In Sarajevo in 1914 started World War I. Its function is to provide the cell with a chemical energy in the form of ATP. Eustonus.
Mitochondria.
That is correct. The organelle that's known as the powerhouse of the cell. A blue-clad soldier yelling, "Where the plank road," uses his rifle butt to place the title object on Henry Fleming's head during a Civil War battle. That wound is the title mark. Riley?
The Red Badge of Courage?
Correct, in the 1895 Stephen Crane novel. Corresponding to each vector, v equals x comma y, there is a unique scalar called the norm of the vector and represented by the square root of the sum of x squared plus y squared.
Magnitude?
James, that is correct. The 1785 hypothesis that the geological processes of the past are essentially those of the present has served as the basis of what modern science that studies rocks and fossils? James.
Anthropology.
That is incorrect. Oscar Smith? Vedant?
Geology.
Geology is correct. All right, teams, watch the monitors for a video question from the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch and wait until the question is asked completely before you buzz in.
Grammy-nominated Collins Obinna Shibweze is a Virginia-born Nigerian-American artist who is known for his blend of hip-hop, country, rock, and Americana. By what name is he popularly known?
Shibuzi.
That is correct. Intransigent is defined as being impervious to persuasion or reason. Spell intransigent. Will.
INTRANSIGENT.
That is correct. Legio Patria Nostra, the Legion is our fatherland, is the motto of what storied military corps? Kyle.
Marines.
That is incorrect. Will?
Green Berets.
It's actually the French Foreign Legion. It starts with the letter B. Name the term that is applied to the elaborately ornate style of architecture or art. Kyle.
Baroque.
That is correct. Popular from the late 16th century through early 18th century. It was the first step in a successful surprise attack on a garrison of Hessians stationed at Trenton, New Jersey. Name this Christmas. Riley.
Washington's crossing of the Delaware.
That is correct. In 1776, it's commemorated in a famous painting. And that buzzer means one more toss-up round just ahead, and we'll double the point value for a correct answer. Stay tuned to see which of our teams is today's winner here on Battle of the Brains, and we'll go on to the semi-final round.
Love Battle of the Brains? Ready for your high school team to play next season? Go to battleofthebrains.net to learn more.
Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
And here's the score as we head into the final round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Oscar Smith High School with 210 points. Our team from Collegiate School with 155 points. And now for this final toss-up round, the point score for a correct answer is doubled, but so is the penalty for an incorrect answer given before I finish the question. There's no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. All right, teams, good luck. This is our final toss-up round. What actor has portrayed the Mandalorian as well as Mr. Fantastic? Riley?
Pedro Pascal.
That is correct. You may need your pencil and paper for this one. Solve for x in this equation. The absolute value of the quantity 10 minus x equals 3. Eustonus.
7.
And? I need
-7. -13.
No.
That is incorrect. Oscar Smith? Vedant?
7 and 13.
7 and 13 is correct, yes. This country welcomed a dictatorship and fascism. Opposing parties, trade unions, and the free press were abolished. Name this country that overthrew its dictator, Benito Mussolini. Riley?
Italy.
That is correct, in 1943. This solid geometric figure has 4 triangular sides like the tetrahedron. However, unlike the tetrahedron, its base is a square.
Square
James?
pyramid.
That is correct. Finish the title of the classic 1996 Clint Eastwood film, The Good, the Bad. James?
The Ugly.
That is correct. Which theory that makes use of 4-dimensional Minkowski space and predicts time dilation was first proposed in 1905 by Albert Einstein? Kyle?
Theory of relativity.
Judges? That is incorrect. Eustonus?
General relativity.
That is incorrect as well. We were looking for special relativity. In mathematical equation, 15 minus 5 equals 10. Which number is the subtrahend? Hannah?
5.
That is correct. Theoretically, this should be an easy word to spell. Spell theoretically. Will?
THEORI. T-I-C-A-L-L-Y.
That is incorrect. Vedant?
T-H-E-O-R-E-T-I-C-A-L-L-Y.
That is correct. This man wrote 366 poems about a woman he saw. Vedant?
Petrarch.
That is correct. He saw it in Avignon Church in 1327. You may need your pencil and paper for this. What is the greatest common factor of the numbers 25 and 27, given that 25 and 27 have no prime factors in common? James?
1.
1 is correct. Based on population, which Central American country is the largest? Eustonus?
Guatemala.
That is correct, with approximately 18.6 million people. The presidential election of 1824 was the first election in which popular votes were counted. It's also the second presidential election to be decided by what legislative body? Eustonus?
The House of Representatives.
Correct. What is the term for large blocky stones that are artificially placed to stabilize a shoreline? Kyle?
Monoliths.
That is incorrect. Collegiate? Eustonus?
Breakers.
It's actually called riprap.
Oh, I knew that.
This word comes from the Latin for year. What is the financial word for an investment or retirement fund that pays out yearly? Riley?
Annual fund?
That is incorrect. Eustonus?
Annuity.
Annuity is correct. What is the only state in the United States whose constitution does not allow for a governor to succeed themselves? Eustonus?
Virginia.
That is correct. With both engines dead, Captain Sully Sullenberg only took 4 minutes to land U.S. Airways Flight 1549. Leah?
The Hudson River.
That is incorrect. I'll finish for Oscar Smith. In the Hudson River in 2009, what was the specific cause of both planes' engines dying? Riley?
Running into birds.
Yes, that is correct. They ran into a flock of Canada geese. And that buzzer is the end of our game. While our judges double-check the final score, here's a reminder of how to stay connected with us here at Battle of the Brains.
Stay up to date on Battle of the Brains. Follow along as your favorite teams advance this season. Visit battleofthebrains.net to learn more and follow the show on social at Battle of the Brains. Join us next week on Battle of the Brains as we welcome students from Douglas S. Freeman High School playing against Great Bridge High School.
And here's the final score for today's match, determining which of our teams will continue on in this season's competition and the semifinal round, and a guaranteed share of this year's scholarship money. Here is the final score right now. Our team from Collegiate School ends with 275 points. Great job this season by James, Eustonus, Leah, and Will, and best of luck in the future endeavors. Our winners today with a final score of 350 points, our team from Oscar Smith High School. Great job today by Hannah, Riley, Vedant, and Kyle, and we will see you in the next round. I'm Cheryl Miller. Thank you so much for watching and playing along here on Battle of the Brains, and we'll see you back here next week. Great match, teams.
Game over. Thank you for watching Battle of the Brains. Presented by Invest 529.